Hi, it's Kathy from Raven Vintage. Welcome back to my craft room. Come on in. Sit down if you can find a spot. I am in such a mess. I've been experimenting for our 100 ways here for project number 47, mixed media scrap block. So by that I mean we're going to do some mixed media techniques, and we're going to do it on, we're going to start with a masterboard collage, and then we're going to cut it into 4 blocks. And then each of those blocks could be then used to further embellish it and add your things to it to decorate. So let's just get this masterboard done quickly. I'm going to... So I didn't put a lot of thought into this collage, because knowing it's going to get cut up into pieces and we're going to do things to it, and I just really didn't, like I said, give it a lot of thought. I did try to use some bigger pieces. I did try to use some neutral pieces. That's about as far as I got. Now, let's get some gesso to soften some spots here. This is gesso. If you don't have gesso, you can just use some white paint if you have it. And like this, I said, this is just really not my jam, but I'm just using a teeny tiny little bit of gesso, and I'm just going to put some little clouds here and there, I don't know what else to call them, just to soften some spots. And I want it on there nice and thin so it dries quickly. Just like I said, just like a little translucent cloud. Here and there, and you will see soon that this is, I'm not an artist, I'm not coming down on myself. I just know that this is not my thing. It's really not my thing. But one thing I'm going to keep in mind is that I will be cutting this into 4 squares, so I want some of this business happening on each of the 4 squares. So I'll get those corners. Just make sure everybody's got a little something. Okay, that's enough. Less is more. Less is more. I will use my heat tool here and dry that. Now, I don't have a lot of oxide inks or anything like that. I will use my blending brush right now, though, and I'm going to grab this blue and this green. I have a few. This one's called Shabby Shutters, and I'm just kind of picking up, there's a little bit of green from the Atlas. So I'm just going to make a few color splotches, let's say, but I'm going to try to do it more on the neutral pages, like the book page. So just here and there, just a few little blops of color. Not a lot. But again, make sure you get all 4 quadrants, because we are going to cut these into blocks. Maybe someone there. And that's probably enough. That looks good to me. So just a little bit. So mixed media, we're already doing mixed media whether we realize it or not. So when we have a base layer in our journal and then we add different things to it, papers, scrapbook paper, doily, and then we later add a fella, and then we add, you know, some elements or flowers, maybe she's sitting on his lap. There we go. And maybe they have a child in the background. There we go. This is her kid. Okay. So we add things to it and we do all these little bits like that. So we are already creating mixed media, whether we realize it or not. Adding stenciling, all the bits. Okay. Now, when I think of mixed media, I think of random shapes and doodahs and swirly gigs and all the things. It's just, like I said, it's just not my jam. Let's try some stencil paste. So let's see. I don't want to do a whole lot. Let's try this white one. So again, this is from, you can use drywall compound, the spackle, not drywall compound, pound. The spackle that you can even buy it at the dollar store. Some of that stuff that goes on pink and then later on dries white, that stuff's cool to work with, and that's pretty inexpensive. I've got yellow on my thing here. I really should have cleaned that, but let's just see what happens. Okay. And again, not my jam, but let's see how it goes. Not there. It's going to do some random spots. There, flowers here. There, I got underneath it. Oh well. Let's flip it over then. I don't know if there's a right side or a wrong side to stencils. Do you guys know? Let's just try this. That. Maybe over here. Oh, don't move on me. Again, not my thing, but there we go. Okay, so we've added a little business there. See, this just is already, I'm irritated. It's not my thing. It's not my thing, but I don't mind trying. I do like to try new things. So, okay, see where we have the cloudy little bits? We could do some sort of a contrast with our black ink. So this might be a good time to do some stencil or some stamping. Let's grab something a little more solid. So I have this fleur-de-lis guy. I like him. Now, what direction? I don't care, because I'm just going to cut these into blocks. But wherever I have kind of the white smooshes, I want this to go on top so that it shows up. That one wasn't very dark at all, was it? Let's try again here. There we go. I'll try this direction. Maybe try that. I don't think I'm going to get right on top of it, so I'm not even going to bother. But I want to try to get all four of my blocks here with something on them. There we go. Okay, I also have a butterfly, so let's try a different color. Might be getting kind of busy, but that's okay. These are going to be backgrounds, right? Let's see, and some more white there. Where's my clouds that I made? And again, I want to try to get each of the four blocks at some point. Oh, that's pretty close. Let's do one down here. Over here. There. So showing up nicely on the neutrals. A whole lot going there. Okay. So what do we think so far? It's busy. It's crazy. It's a little bit of this and it's a little bit of that. And then we can also try, this is a spray and stay, or a spray stain, sorry. And I'm just going to do it really light from way up high there. Just a little spritz there. Just a bit. Get all four corners. I'm going to have to wash my desk. Oh, that was pretty dark. Okay. And then, of course, the white splatter thing that you do with your paintbrush. So let me just water down this gesso a little bit and see if that'll work. I know that's wet enough. Okay. And that's where you just kind of either flick like a toothbrush, you can flick, or you can try to do these things like that. Okay, that's enough. I just, again, sorry if I sound so annoyed. It's just not my thing. It's just not my thing. Okay, so this is what we have. I'm going to dry this, cut it into 4, and then we'll decorate one of them. So I have this freebie in my coffee shop. It's number 32, I think. Let me double check that for you. Yep, it's digital number 32. This is back when we made our own cabinet cards. We learned that from Jennifer. Okay, from BB Art. I'm going to use this fella. Brantford, Ontario. So I'm going to use that tea bag, and I'm going to use Mod Podge. And we will Mod Podge this tea bag right onto this fella here. It's a nice thin layer of gesso, or sorry, Mod Podge. And then we'll get him the tea bag on. It's just a really nice look once it's dry. And the wrinkles are cool when it does have some wrinkles. Looks better, in my opinion. Okay. So again, mixed media. We're adding different, just layering different textures and materials and colors and different types of paint, different types of paste, inks, all the things. So we're going to add him in here like that. And I just want something behind him. So let's get out some of our gauze. See if we can get some sort of script showing. I have not tried this before. Let's try it. On that. Will it show? Kinda. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. All right, come here, my friend. Kind of like this. Okay, good. All right, well, let's start with this. Down here and over to the corner a bit. And then we will add this gauze behind him. Yes, baby. And I am going to smush it up here a bit because I don't want to cover up too much of this, the 2 part here. Oh, he has seen better days. He's been pulled off of something else where I changed my mind, which we're allowed to do, right? Because we are junk journal makers. Let's get that up a bit. And him just kind of sitting here like that. Now the other thing is we can come in with a marker, or you can use a, what do I have one out here? Yeah. This is one of those watercolor pencils. So I'm just going to make something kind of framing him kind of obvious like this. And then we'll use our paintbrush with a little bit of water. And then we'll just kind of smush those around a bit. All right, now let's pull that out a bit. It's probably a little heavy-handed, but let's just see where we get with this. And I really want it to be translucent, so I'm just going to add a little bit more water. There we go. Okay, now let's get a paper towel and dab that a bit. Cool. Very cool. All kind of blendy. And then I feel like we just kind of need something up here. So sticking with the dark and the black here, I think I might use a black ink and a stencil. Do I have a black? Oh, I do. Let's use the black. Get a little bit of a swirl going, like right here with the black. Or hickory or whatever this is called. It's going to be pretty faint, but it'll be something. Okay, so it's just a little bit of detail there. Maybe we'll add it down here too. Just a little tiny bit of detail. Okay, he's cool. I like him. And now I feel like he needs some sort of a sentiment. And that's kind of a nice balance over here. Let's do that. But we can still use the art principles that we know. And then some people are good at the little doodle things too. Like I don't know what we would do here. Let's add a little something to him. Balance that out over here. I don't know. I'm just done with that one. I know I'm done with that one. Okay, this we can stamp right on. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's kind of cool. Like that. So, and then we can add things to this. So. So that's cool. So we've done 2 blocks. So I'll let you just experiment with the other 2 blocks, but there's 2 blocks finished. There's some room. Okay. So we have 2 more blocks to work with. I have these 2 gents finished. So mixed media, just using different textiles, different paints, different inks, different types of glue even, different papers. We started out with a real basic collage. And then these ones you could do that are to showcase the collage itself more. You could do something a lot smaller. Yeah, like you could do something less busy, like that doesn't cover up as much, and then put your sentiment across the bottom, some sort of words right there. And then of course you can cut this into a tag shape. You can use these as pockets. You can cut them into strips, into belly bands, just to carry that theme throughout your journal because you've already used those cards in there somewhere. So I just wanted to show you that I thought, okay, Kathy, everything's out right now. Just go all in. Try a little bit more. So I went a little bit crazy. Now this is something I would never put in my book, in my journals, but I added way more paste to this guy. So I did from this little thing I got from Goodwill or wherever, Bowie Village. I added that. I recognized that there was turquoise in there. I thought, oh, well, let's do that. So I added way more paste to this guy. So he's definitely more mixed media looking now, but that is not something I would normally do. But this one I really liked. I added more black of paste to him And I think that looks pretty cool. I like that. I think that is going in the book. So I did play a little bit more with this texture paste, and this is what I came up with. So I do like this kind of scribbly, scrabbly paste with the black. Could also be done with a marker or paint or even with ink, but just kind of random splotches and splooches. I don't know. It was just kind of fun. So that's it for mixed media for me. You probably won't see me do this again. It's just not my thing. I have a huge mess to clean up in my room right now, and I better get that done so that I can craft again with you tomorrow. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for obliging me and letting me try mixed media, even though it's just not my thing. But I'm pretty pleased with this one here. Not so much this guy, but this one here. So thanks again, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.